What are some things that sound like compliments but are actually insults? My biology teacher in high school used to love telling people, "I don't care what anyone else says, you're all right." My French sister-in-law said to me, at a family get-together, "Your skin is so smooth, you hardly have any wrinkles." That's the advantage of being overweight. My dad thinks babies are inherently ugly, so when people show him baby pics or whatever he just says, "Now that's a baby." Before I retired, I was once asked by our HR department to write a non-lawsuit producing reference for a former employee of mine that I had a pretty low opinion of. I wrote that they always met my expectations. You so beautiful that you could be a part-time model. The most beautiful girl in the whole wide room. Anything involving the word brave. You are such an adventurous dresser. I wish I was brave like that. Aw, I love how you just wear anything. My mother is a gold mine for these. It is so nice you can focus on your newborn and not worry about what your house looks like. I love that you don't care what people think of you. Many others that have already been stated. I love that you don't care what people think of you. Thanks Mom, it helps when I'm around you. Good thing you are pretty. As a director of high school theater, if a parent says, "It looks like everyone on stage had a good time," it means no one in the audience enjoy this show. Something about being on top of the bell curve. I've heard. If you do your best and really reach your full potential, I think you might be able to reach the top of the bell curve. I worked with a music producer who had to take a few gigs early on producing for young female singers who often were not very talented but had a lot of money to give him for his work. Instead of lying to them when they'd ask for his feedback on each take, he'd say things like, "Wow, that was something. You really did your thing. That was so you." Now whenever I'm forced to politely react to people I don't like, mostly in the context of work, I always use one of the above if I'm unimpressed. Lol. That's actually a good idea, person who is surprised you're not an idiot. Even though it can be used as a compliment, more often than not I hear, "They're just a free spirit," used as a subtle way of saying, "They make bad decisions." I love what you tried to do with your hair. It really brings out your inner you. My grandpa is famous for saying, "You look good today." He's a funny guy lol. I went in for surgery on my face and my granddad now is so excited when he says, "You look pretty now." Can't even be mad cause he isn't trying to be mean. It's impossible to underestimate you. I got this from a previous Reddit thread, and I love how it sounds so much like a compliment. It takes people a while to realize it's not, if they realize at all. When I worked in retail, my favorite one for rude customers was, "I hope the rest of your day is as pleasant as you are." That reminds me of my dad's favorite thing to say to waiters and waitresses. "I hope I'm the worst customer you have today." I was once told, "You're a little chubby, but you're a nice guy," and I'm still not sure exactly what was meant by that. I'm surprised I'm attracted to you. I don't normally like short guys. My ex. When I first met my boyfriend's ex-mates, 3 said of them said, "You look nothing like his ex-girlfriends, they were all thin and pretty." Thanks. My wife is slightly overweight. Her 84-year-old grandmother who has dementia looked at her yesterday and said, "That dress doesn't make you look as fat." My wife's grandmother never liked her because she is a little overweight. All her life she was told backhanded compliments like this by her grandmother. I had a woman at my last high school reunion tell me, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's you. You're so handsome now." That's a really great picture of you. It doesn't look like you at all. It's cool that you're still following your dream. Anytime a compliment is followed by "for once," or "for a change," e.g., "Your hair looks nice for once." I once got told, "You look good, for you." A lot of polite British sayings, to be honest. I've worked in a number of countries, and sometimes I have to remind myself that extreme understatement is burned into the bones of British culture to a much deeper depth than anywhere else in the world. That's very brave, what the F? I think that you're on the right track, you are a turbo moron. etc. If you say so, that's so stupid I don't know how you're still alive. Yours is perfect, I don't like them big anyway. This made me cross my legs in anguish. In middle school, one of my good friends met my older brother for the first time and felt the need to say, "Oh my gosh, your brother is so hot. You two look nothing alike." Stung a bit. Last week one of my professors told me, "I think you actually think a lot more deeply than you let on sometimes." I laughed awkwardly and said thanks. You can't possibly be as stupid as you sound. Sometimes, just for a second, I almost see it. That's hilarious. This is very specific to me, but you don't look Mexican, I'm a very light-skinned Mexican. My usual response, what's a Mexican supposed to look like? I'm not offended because it's not meant as an insult most times, I just see it as amusing. Maybe they genuinely expect a sombrero at all times? You're nothing like all those other insert racist, sexist profile. You really seem so confident in yourself, despite everything, it's reassuring for me. Bless your heart. So, what do you think? Well, I don't hate it.